Okay, I am back and I will be wrapping up school update for May part 1 in 2019. Yeah. I don't know how to describe my situation in school life right now. It's ambivalent, you know? I have mixed emotions. As per usual, I am really upset and dissatisfied and sad and pissed off about my school life in general because it's just so pointless, just so just so many years wasted without anything all that productive. But lately, I've changed my mind. Instead of keeping on beating myself up, instead of focusing on the past all the time. You know what? I'm gonna focus on the present. I'm gonna try my best to make a change, and I'm a loser. I'm a failure. So usually when I say I'm gonna do something, usually I wouldn't be able to do it at the end. But not gonna lie, I really tried really hard to make a change, to make my school life a more uh, point, a more meaningful thing. And indeed, a little had changed. A little. Again, I'm a loser, and I suck at doing things in general. To be able to actually slightly change for the better is actually not that bad, but I need to do better than that. Anyway, I last left off in May 9th, I think. I don't know. Yeah, did I tell you that, Suki's sister is my brother's classmate? That thing? Anyway, let's move over to May 10th, which is the first sports day. And yeah, yesterday was actually the last sports day of my life. Whoa! So this is the second last sports day that I will ever have. And wait, now I'm starting to remember. I probably talked about this, didn't I? I think I have, right? Hold on a second. Yeah, anyway, what? Natalie and Topher broke up, yada yada. Anyway, whatever. Let's just skip over to May 14th, where I had to hand in like three homework, and I ended up handing in zero of them. Because in the entire weekend I was just really busy. Yeah, so there's this Chinese book report thing that's really annoying and it totally sucks. And I had to hand in uh on that Monday, and so I literally did it on that day. So that's actually pretty impressive, and I completed it. So that's pretty crazy. And in the morning, when I was going to school, when I was walking up from my from the ground floor to my classroom. Oh yeah, by the way, it's really different from the USA. That in Hong Kong, a school really is just a building. It's one big building. So I'm in 11th grade, so I'm in fifth floor. So I need to walk up 10 flight of stairs to go up. And yeah, so I was walking up, and Linda and Henry were behind me, and then Mary and Oliver were in front of me. And between Mary and Oliver and me, it's Sandra or Sandy. I forgot. Whoa. Anyway, right before Oliver entered 5A, the classroom, he just stopped there and continued to chat with Mary, which is like really sweet and warm in my opinion. So Sandra and I had to like curve by, swerve by, and swoop by. And the funny thing is, Sandra didn't even see me. Sandra didn't even know that I was behind her. So she was about to close the door, and I used my feet to like stop the door from closing all the way so I could just slip in. like ninja style, so I wouldn't cause a scene. A couple funny things happened on that day, really. Things related to sex, but I will not get into details. you know, our class, well, our school in general, um, it's a boy-girl school. It's a co-ed, meaning that boys and girls study together, which is a great thing because if not, then it will be weird and it will be very dreadful as well, in my opinion. Yeah. Um, Anyway. Apparently, Queenie. If I've ever talked about her, she's this super fast, sporty, athletic girl who also likes to draw and paint because she's so artsy. And she's pretty gorgeous. She's pretty hot, not gonna lie, even though she's not like that hot. I still have to admit, she's one of the attractive ones, which is rare. And apparently, Ernest said that Queenie had an Instagram story saying that her parents are gone, and she was inviting people to go to her house and play with her cat. What? And then we move on to May 15th, where nothing all that important really happened. Same goes for 16th. Mary and Oliver, they're just so close together, and it just makes me feel like a like a total loser. Mary is an interesting person, I have to say. Yeah, of course, she's like cute and stuff, but what really intrigues me is her personality and how she acts in general, because like she doesn't act like any other girls. Like the way she acts and the way all other girls act aren't really different, but she's so weird sometimes. Like sometimes she would just stare at you in a distance, and that would be creepy. Sometimes she would be like all pissed off and stuff. Like she would be like so angry with the world, and sometimes she would be like very cryptic about things, like what do you think kind of person, the kind of person who wouldn't answer questions directly. So she's a weird person, I have to say. She's a weird ass person. Plus, if you've seen her notebooks, you'll realize how horny she is all the time. Like I don't even understand. Like I've never met a girl who would so openly talk about sex and dicks and vaginas and be all cool about it. And I mean, sure, there are some girls. I know Joan. She would also do that, and she's a thought, but she's not the cryptic, creepy kind of person. But Mary is pretty creepy. Mary is pretty creepy, I have to say. Was, at least, she was very creepy before, and now just a tad bit, Uh, anyway, Mary and Oliver are still friends, so that's pretty amazing. They've been friends for like 4 years now, and I had been friends with Mary for 2 months. I'm such a loser. In seventh grade, and it's been 4 years now since we had actually talked. The last time we talked was she told me to do it again because I was doing an impersonation of her now classmate, or then classmate, her now, yeah, makes sense. Anyway, I was on Oliver's seat and I was reading his book because I need to prepare for the Chinese test on May 16th. And it totally sucks. In Qing Dynasty, there's this novel full of short stories, and it's about ghosts and spirits and weird creatures and elves and magic. It's a pretty interesting novel. I 100% recommend it. Yeah, late Qing Dynasty. Anyway, let's get back onto the main topic. I was reading that book, reading that novel, okay? And then Oliver and Mary came into the classroom, and I was like, oh, wait, they're going to Oliver's seat, aren't they? And indeed, they are. I was gonna, like, walk away, but then no, because I ain't afraid of no thoughts. And then a week from now, we're gonna have this biology presentation thing where we have to talk about our project and stuff. And me and Edward and Grant and Andy and whoever's in our group did nothing. We did nothing about our biology project. Meanwhile, everyone else had done something. So we had to immediately come up with a project title, and we have to immediately do an experiment about it. So Edward came up with the title, studying the effects of antibiotics on different viruses, different bacteria, and we immediately went to biology lab, and we immediately did the experiment, and we're whack. We're actually whack. There are 9 antibiotics against 2 different bacteria, and hopefully it works out. Meanwhile, at the very same time, a full form scale English oral assessment is happening. So we were actually assigned to different groups randomly because we had to do this English group discussion thing. No worries though, because I think I did pretty well, even though it wasn't perfect. On that day after school, something really weird happened. I was taking my bus back home, and on the bus, this boy, Isaiah, pseudonym, Isaiah sat beside me and said hi to me. So I said hi back. That's pretty weird. See, the thing is, I don't know Isaiah, and Isaiah don't know me. I know his name. That's all I know. He probably doesn't even know my name. I also know something about him. I speculated that he has a girlfriend, and that girlfriend might be Mary. Yeah, because I've seen them two being really intimate with each other. Anyway, he suddenly said hi to me, which is weird. Usually people don't do that to me, you know? Why would you suddenly say hi to a stranger? So on the next day, on May 16th, I kind of talked to Oliver because I want to know who the hell is Isaiah really and what's going on. Why is he saying hi to me? I may be overthinking. Actually, I am probably, but still, why? So I asked Oliver, and I asked him if Isaiah knows me. He said he doesn't know. And then I asked him if Isaiah has a girlfriend. More like I ask him, doesn't Isaiah have a girlfriend? And he was like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. And I was like, is that girl in the same class with us during 7th and 8th grade? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, first of all, no way it's Cherry, because Cherry has a boyfriend already. No way it's Queenie, because Queenie's just not the type. And he was like, yeah. and at that point, the person that I was thinking about is the same person that I made Oliver think about. I'm not sure who is he thinking about, but I think that we both at that moment were thinking about the same person, and that's Mary. Yeah. So what's Mary's boyfriend doing to me? What is he doing to say hi to me? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. I somehow deduced that he was Mary's boyfriend, but I didn't know why is he saying hi to me. I have no idea. I have a theory, and that is that Mary is trying to spy on me because I was talking about her so much. Come to think of it, that's actually really ridiculous. Or another plausible reason would be that Isaiah is just being a little too nice towards strangers. Yeah. Meanwhile, 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 I am actually really close to joining Potato Gang and joining Oliver's gang and leaving Nick completely behind. Well, not completely. I feel like that would be really disrespectful to him. And, without me, he has zero friends. Yeah, anyway, I'm on the line. I'm on the verge of moving on to another, like, gang. And I'm excited about that, even though it still feels very frustrating and damning and saddening that I'm such a big fat loser. Anyway, yeah. And then let's move on to May 17th, where it's the last sports day happened. And oh boy, I can't show you right now, but I have like 10 mosquito bites yesterday, and that really sucked. And just like last Friday, I worked as a backup announcer. And Nick wasn't there, nobody else was there. Matt was there though, and he's pretty cool. So I was there and I had like the labels because, if you're a staff, you have to have a label on your shirt. So since Nick wasn't there, Zane wasn't there, and there's an extra label, I had 4 labels on my shirt. So that's pretty amazing. Anyway, I worked as a backup announcer, and I did announce a few times, so that's pretty cool. And I did talk with Natalie Waymore, which is crazy because Natalie and I sort of broke up as friends, like a few months ago. Even though it isn't official, it feels like we're not friends anymore. It feels like she had completely gone to be in, Tofu Gang instead of being friends with me. Which is fine, I guess. I'm not really a huge fan of being friends with Natalie as well. And she's really annoying sometimes. And okay, first of all, we talked. We negotiated. 90% of the time when we talked, we were basically joking and it's like shallow level talk. But occasionally, once in a while, I tried to have a serious conversation with Natalie, and every time when that happens, Natalie gets, ignorant because she would just ignore me and she would just not care about what I say and she wouldn't say anything else. But yeah, I tried. I tried to seriously have a conversation with her in real life. And, I don't know, man. I don't know. I tried to negotiate with her, first of all, and apparently, Topher is being really mean to me, and Topher's totally being an ass, and apparently, Natalie was against that also. I thought Natalie hates my guts as well. Apparently, Natalie had also beaten up Topher for being mean to me, so I guess that's a good thing. So I told her that if I and Topher, in the future, ever had a one-on-one moment where we had to fight to the death, please don't support Topher. Please don't. So we got that out of the way. And yeah, and I told her that we should be friendlier to each other because it just feels so toxic. School, the community just feels so toxic, and I'm the only one who feels that way. I'm such a loser. And yeah, and she was like, yeah, but and then I asked her if many people talk to her when they're sad, and she was like, yeah. That actually kind of pisses me off because people are acting as if Natalie is this edgy, sad girl who understands pain, and the boys are acting as if Natalie could understand their sadness and their pain, and they're acting as if Natalie could, fathom the situation or whatever. I tried to talk to Natalie 2 years ago about my sadness, It never worked. She had been an asshole to me from start to finish. So, after a year or so, I never told her my feelings ever again. Yeah. So either I'm actually a loser, or that 90% actually, I correct that, 70% of the boys in our class are normies. Either that. Who knows, man? Who knows? Other than that, not much happened. Oh yeah, at the end of the day, we had to like move chairs and tables back to like the room because sports day had finished. And like, I was weak. I was really vulnerable, and that's like my huge weakness. Probably my biggest weakness. No, my second biggest weakness. My biggest weakness is that I don't have enough friends. My second weakness is that I'm actually really weak. Like, I'm not strong at all. So I couldn't lift things up, and while Natalie could and would. So yeah, that pisses me off. At the end, when I came back home yesterday, I just did like 10 push-ups, and I jumped up and down in the hopes that I would somehow hurt my legs so that I would grow taller, grow wider, grow broader, grow stronger, and grow whatever. Okay? Just, yeah. I'm actually probably the most insecure person in the entire class right now because I just have so many vulnerability. I have just so many weaknesses, and I'm just so afraid to expose them, so I have to cover them, and it hurts and it sucks. Okay? But I'm sure the result would be great. Hopefully. You know what really sucks? It's how yesterday sort of ended. I was gonna like leave with Nick, and Nick left with another person. Both of them are also really unpopular, so whatever. And then I was gonna leave with Leo and Pink, and then Topher showed up, so whatever, I'll leave them behind. And then the other half of Bean Gang sort of showed up, and they were gonna go play basketball, so I didn't follow them. So I just stayed outside the stadium for like half an hour until all the other people sort of showed up. I kind of waited for Potato Gang because I want to stay to see what happens, and also I want to further be friends with Potato Gang. So I waited them, and fuck me. 4 houses. We have 4 houses. All 4 of the all the committees and the staffs and the members of all 4 of the houses sort of gathered, and it's like crowded and stuff, and it's all popular people. All the popular people sort of gathered around, and they're taking 100, 200 photos, and it's crazy. And Mary and Caroline were there, and they were so happy. It pisses me off to see this many people being happy. It genuinely pisses me off. Linda was there. She was having an amazing time with Henry. Another handsome boy was there with a handsome... What? Another handsome boy was there with a beautiful girl, and they're, hugging each other and stuff. The beautiful girl was like tearing up because it was so overwhelming. And everyone was like, kiss her. And it's just this really happy environment, and I'm not taking part in it. And that's what makes me feel even sadder and even more powerless. Everyone's just taking photos. The boys were taking photos, and they were like talking about inside jokes that I barely understand. And Oliver was there, and Oliver, of course, he gets to take a photo with Mary, and Mary's like, and Oliver was like, so it's like, and the boys were like, and I was like, I was doing this face the whole time, and it just sucks, man. I was just 100% invisible. And at the end, everyone sort of part ways. I followed Ernest and Ronald, whatever. And at the end, they had to continue celebrate, of course, with Mary, Linda, Caroline. They're all in Greenhouse. And I went back home by myself. Still better, though, because in the sports day last year, I took 0 photos, while yesterday, I took 2 photos, one with Grant and one with Russell. So that's, like better than last year, at least. But still, everyone else took 100 photos. Like Iris, Idris, Tyrus, whatever, you name it. Jeffrey, Of course, Isaiah was there. Queenie was there. Yeah, whatever. The detective moves on. Oh yeah, speaking of detectives, when I told Natalie that I knew that she and Topher argued, she was like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "I'm the detective. Of course I know." Ha. And when I told Oliver that I think Isaiah has a girlfriend, Oliver was like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "I'm the detective." So, ha.